So I've had this Coleman 8-person tent for a number of years, and I'm lending it out in a couple of weeks, and I was asked to show how the tent is set up. So I thought I'd make a little video. I haven't found too much information about this tent on the internet, so maybe this will be some useful information. So you will see this is a massive tent. I quickly checked, it's 12 by 12 feet, and just look at this big bag of poles that comes with it. It's a freestanding tent with one door, and it has the inner and then a fly sheet that goes on top. So the first thing that you will see is that the tent actually has some sleeves that you need to put the tent poles through. It's a bit of a mission if it's a one-man job, especially for such a large tent. But the idea is to cross them over. Those will be the black poles, and hook them in, and then we will take it from there. You see, it's always good to check your tent out before you go camping. I just noticed that the one pole, oopsie, has got a loose, so I need to make a few repairs. Okay, so what I'll need to do here is just create a little bit of a loopy. Make sure that it's small enough to go through the tent pole. See, I say, then let's open up this knot. I say, okay, then you take the cord, hook it in, make sure you clamp it nice and tight so that it won't go loose, and then pull it through the pole so it goes to the other side. Pull, pull, there we go. The main reason why I bought this tent many years ago is because of this door. It actually has a door that open and closes. I find that very functional, um, and you have to use a tent pole just to connect it on the side at the top here. There's actually two poles, one on the side and then the one that goes down. Okay, so I had to move the tent around because it's just too big to fit in my yard. But you can see the one big window, the mesh sides. It is, I can literally put my hands all the way up. Then on each side you have the normal tent panels. Tent is not ideal for cold seasons. It's got way too much mesh. And once I put the fly sheet up, you'll also see that the air vent on the side allows for a lot of air to come in, and it's a little bit too cold for even uh, definitely a winter and maybe a spring. But then you have to make sure that your sleeping system is nice and warm. Okay, so here's the trick with putting up the fly sheet, or many tricks. The first thing to know is that the green is the front and the cream is the back. And then you'll see that the front also has like these panels that come out. Now, because, because it's such a huge tent to put up, I have a little bit of a move. I made this little hook just to help me pull it over because it's way too high for me. So, yeah, let's put the fly sheet on. So the first things that I do is I try and just connect the little hooks of the fly sheet at the bottom of the tent on the three sides, just to keep that stable. And then the last thing is to hopefully get the last bit over. Last ball. So the tent is up. The last thing to do is just to put out the tent pegs, and then I will give you a overview of the entire tent. So here's my final thoughts about this tent, the Coleman 8-person. It is a massive tent. It's not too difficult to assemble once you've done it a few times. But it's not easy. It's not like putting up my nature hike. Just the mere size of it makes it potentially better two-man job than a one-man job, but it can definitely be done by one person. This is either you go family camping, and there's enough space here for, the whole kitchen sink, or serious, what do they call it, glamping. You can put even the jacuzzi in this tent. It's very spacious, but I think because of that, it allows for a lot of air. The evenings in this tent is quite cold. All the mesh also allows for a lot of wind to come through. I've had this tent, yes, I don't know, probably for about 10 years. And for many years, this was the only tent that I camped with, and it has really served me well. So in terms of durability, it is most definitely a strong tent. It's lasted through wind. It has a few injuries that it picked up through some serious winds that we experienced, but I mean, it held its own. To patch it up here and there a little bit, but other than that, I mean, it was when it rained, when there was wind, it stood its ground. The tent also has this little bit of an awning in the front here, which is nice. I think depending on how you camp, often before I had my tarps, I would camp with a gazebo, and ideally what you want to do is you want to put your tent in front of your gazebo and protect it from the elements. But with this awning, it's very difficult because even though you can put the top of the awning underneath the gazebo, these side panels tend to be in the way of everything, and you can't erect the tent or keep the tent up without putting these side panels out. It just, it helps with the sort of the stability, or creating the stability that the tent, especially the awning, needs. But I think if you don't do the gazebo thing and you just use it as a sort of standalone, then it works perfectly well. And I think also, I mean, if you do the camping without the gazebo and things, it can serve as a bit of a vestibule. It doesn't have a front panel that closes, but I mean, there's space here where you can put some of your gear that you can't fit in the tent, but I struggle to believe that maybe some of your kitchenware or something like that. But yeah, so the grandkids are coming to visit tonight, so I thought I'd use this opportunity to show how to put this tent up, and then we some are going to camp in the tent tonight. So looking forward to that. See, my cat's already camping. Let me show you. Hey, Poo Poo. Okay, so I hope that helped, and I hope this gave you a little bit of insight on the Coleman 8-person tent. And thank you for watching.